Kuzangpo, a warm welcome to Bhutan this week. My name is Samtin Dolkar. Our top stories this week. Ambassadors presented their credentials to His Majesty the King. His Royal Highness the Gyaltsen inaugurated the Jigme Namgyal Wangchuk Super Fab Lab. And Dzongkha Development Commission launched books to promote national language. The ambassadors of Germany, Argentina, Thailand, Cuba, Israel and Colombia to Bhutan presented their credentials to His Majesty the King on Wednesday. The credentials presentation ceremony was held at Tashechozong. Bhutan established diplomatic relations with Germany and Israel in 2020, Argentina and Colombia in 2012, Cuba in 2011, and with Thailand in 1989. This is the first credentials ceremony since January 2020. The ambassadors called on the Prime Minister, Foreign Minister and other senior officials of the government to discuss cooperation and issues of mutual interest. His Holiness the J. Khenpo launched the Genzin Datsang Tsatim as part of the 400 years of the Shung Datsang celebrations. The Tsatim will help 18 Genzin Datsang across the country in implementing uniform rules, plans and projects hereafter. His Holiness the J. Khenpo started Genzin Datsang in 2014 to provide monks with wholesome monastic education from a single institute.
Telen lam lusu beruta, dinagi kuchu bumde beruta, te kachigi tele beru, te chisung chibe, shosung chibe jonegi, dendube te tanga chichachapki, te zo lamtundi yelema kalop lamtundi, chabjori muchi chable ma natigibe, tenga chigi raprup tantigibe, tato sensogi nankulu, te ani ngachiragi zinjongda, ngachiragi tembalu 잡도준이기 팬답 섬집에 다동아치게 아니 짜팀베 난교기 디지기 짜팀베 때 아니베 점잡이라.
Coinciding with the birth anniversary of Her Majesty the Gyaltsen, His Royal Highness the Gyaltsen inaugurated the Jigme Namgyal Wangchuk Super Fab Lab at the Tech Park in Thimphu and the Fab Lab network in Bhutan.
On His Royal Highness's first royal duty as chief guest, His Royal Highness was escorted in Chibdral procession to the venue. The traditional marching ceremony was performed and the Prime Minister and other representatives of the government and Druk Holding Investments offered Kusung Thu Mende. The Fab Lab network consists of 3 additional Fab Labs located at Druk Gyalpo's Institute at Pambisa in Paro, Jimmy Wanshu Power Training Institute in Gellifu, and the Bio Fab Lab at the College of Natural Resources at Lobesa in Punakha.
It's such an important day for all of us in Bhutan, where we have established the Super Fab Lab in Bhutan. This was under the vision and the command of His Majesty the King to establish a platform where we can actually prototype our ideas and dreams to bring solutions to life. So today we have inaugurated the Super Fab Lab, and we are blessed to have our Gelse to have inaugurated the Super Lab. And the lab is also now named after our Gelse, and it is named as Jimmy Namgyal Wangchu Super Fab Lab.
A Fab Lab or fabrication laboratory is a facility with computer-controlled tools and machines for anyone to build almost anything. It is a concept developed by the Massachusetts Institute of Technology in the USA. The Jimmy Namgyal Wangchu Super Fab Lab, the second ever Super Fab Lab in the world outside the US, is equipped with high-end, state-of-the-art digital fabrication equipment.
It will be very interesting to see how this fab community in Bhutan progresses, how individuals and creative minds come together, create solutions, and eventually, with these solutions being prototyped, we hope to create the next generation of industries. And that is also one of our vision at DHI Innotech, is to create an ecosystem, create a national innovation ecosystem, and also develop technology in Bhutan.
The Super Fab Lab and Fab Lab networks in Bhutan were established as part of a series of initiatives in line with the royal vision to build platforms that will foster a culture of innovation and creativity. The Super Fab Lab was built collaboratively by DHI, the Royal Society for STEM Education, and the Center for Beats and Atoms at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology.
I urge that this will be a start of a collaboration for academia, government, and industry to work together to create solutions. And some of the projects, what we are doing right now, we are fabricating drones, we are fabricating small components of electric cars, we are fabricating automation systems for the water management itself in Bhutan, apart from many other aspects. I also do want to mention that the Super Fab Lab or the Fab space is not only for technical people. This is a space which can be used by all creative people, every individual who wants to solve problems.
The principal sponsor of the project is the U.S. State Department through the Bhutan Foundation in Washington, D.C., the USA. The project is co-financed by DHI. The other Fab Labs in Bhutan are funded by the royal government through the Ministry of Labor and Human Resources and supported by the Gross National Happiness Commission. The Jimmy Namgyal Wangchu Super Fab Lab will be managed and operated by the Innotech Department of DHI, and the standard Fab Labs will be operated and maintained by the respective institutions, with DHI as the strategic coordinating body. Sinampem for BBS News.
Bhutan hopes to eliminate HIV/AIDS by 2030. The Health Ministry is ramping up intervention programs to achieve the target. One of the programs is the HIV self-testing kit. It is now made available in 6 priority districts this month.
The 6 priority districts are Thimphu, Chukha, Sarpang, Wandiphodrang, Punakha and Samdrup-Zonker. According to the Health Ministry's study, these districts are said to have a high prevalence of HIV. The study was conducted in 2019 to ascertain credible data to help the ministry develop a sound national response program on HIV.
What the study actually recommended through the finding is that the HIV self-testing is acceptable and feasible among the key population as well as general population in Bhutan. The study generated 1,726 MSM, 597 female sex workers, and 350 plus the transgender person in Bhutan. So now we have a reliable size estimates that can help us to develop any intervention more effectively than before.
The country has seen a growing social acceptance of people living with HIV over the years. However, some still face discrimination in society which bars them from getting tested at health centers. So the HIV self-testing kit is expected to increase the testing coverage and reduce stigmas around HIV/AIDS. But health officials said it is an uphill struggle.
We are actually striving hard to achieve, but we really cannot promise that we can achieve by 2030. But we want to try and bring to not by 100%, but sometimes by 60 to 70%.
The self-testing services will gradually be expanded in the remaining districts. The existing HIV testing services at the health facilities around the country will continue. Bhutan detected the first HIV case in 1993. Since then, almost 800 individuals tested positive. Currently, about 600 people are living with HIV in the country. For Karmawandi, this is Pemal Hardin, BBS News.
The residents of Thimphu Thomde will no longer have to wait for long hours on the road to dispose their wastes. This is because the JICA country office introduced a mobile application that will allow city residents to track the waste collection trucks. The app was launched on 6th June.
The mobile application Thimphu Thomde Waste App will provide real-time location of the waste collection vehicles in the city. They will be able to know how long it will take for the garbage trucks to reach their doorsteps. And these will address the issue of waste collection timing and schedule facing the residents of the capital for years. In the past, the waste collection vehicles could only be tracked by Thomde officials and the waste collection service providers.
A lot of complaints that we get from people are that the waste collection vehicles don't come on time, or that they come and they leave. So when this happens, people get irritated and they leave their waste near their house unattended, and then this unattended waste gets rummaged by stray dogs, and it causes a lot of issues. So now with the launch of this new app, people can actually track these vehicles in real time, so they can see the vehicles on the road as they come to collect the waste from the people.
The JICA country office outsourced the development of the app to a private Bhutanese tech firm. The Japanese government also contributed 20 new waste collector vehicles, which will increase the frequency of waste collection to ensure consistent waste collections within the city. Shonitama for BBS News.
Now, with more people preferring English as a medium of communication, Dzongkha might not survive after 50 years. This is according to a recent study carried out by the Dzongkha Development Commission. To promote the national language, the Commission has been publishing several products and services. Continuing the concerted effort, the Commission launched 10 new books.
The books are of Dzongkha proverbs, terminology, and children's comic books. The books contain illustrations to make it more engaging for readers. The Commission also launched an advanced Dzongkha dictionary on its website. According to the Commission, their study showed that the usage of Dzongkha in writing and reading was very low among the Bhutanese population. The study recommended institutionalizing a Dzongkha standard testing system through policy intervention to promote the national language. Dzongkha's standard testing system is similar to the International English Language Testing System.
For people to take more interest in Dzongkha, it's important to implement Dzongkha standard testing system exam. The report mentions people's usage of Dzongkha in the country and the reasons why people do not use the national language. All the findings are there. So, based on that, we will make plans and policies and resources accessible for the people.
The books launched yesterday will ensure that the national language is used more frequently in public institutions, official meetings, and in the education sector.
Whatever programs we plan, it is important to conduct it in Dzongkha. And to achieve that, we need proper resources. We need relevant Dzongkha words, terminology, meaning, and contemporary words. Based on that, we are publishing several books.
The Commission said they are in talks with other stakeholders such as the RCSE to implement the Dzongkha standard testing system. Kyazang Chodin, BBS News.
To empower and improve the livelihoods of people living with disability in Tirang, The Ability Bhutan Society, or ABS, is carrying out a 3-year project in the district. The Engaging and Empowering Persons with Disability project intends to initiate programs that will engage them in meaningful and productive activities.
A team of enumerators led by 2 officials from the ABS completed collecting data from across the 12 gewuks in Sirang recently. The team collects data concerning types of disabilities, social and educational inclusion of persons with disability in the society, and economic status, among others. The data will help the organization get accurate information and understand the needs and challenges of people living with disabilities in the district.
We aim to promote early identification and early interventions. Besides that, we also work with different stakeholders, and we will design and plan capacity building programs for community workers and service providers in the Dzongkhag.
The survey found that close to 800 people in the district are living with various forms of disabilities.
I must say less concept on early identifications. If the disability condition is identified early, the intervention can also be provided right on time, so that we can improve or at least prevent some of the disability conditions.
The ABS will start initiating different programs for these people and their caregivers after analyzing the survey data. The programs will include providing seed money to start income-generating activities ranging from knitting to farming, among others. For the younger people with disabilities, the organization plans to enroll them in schools with certain programs depending on their interests and willingness.
When we say that we will uplift the life and then livelihood of a person with disability, it doesn't mean that the person with disability themselves has to avail the service, but their caregiver and then parents we can also work with them, and then they can equally avail the services.
The Ability Bhutan Society has completed such projects in Chuka, Tagana, Punakha, Sarpang and Tashigang in the first phase. The project is being carried out with support from Germany's Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development and German Leprosy and TB Relief Association. For Pema Sawang in Sirang, Pukim, PBS News.
The old Simtoka Bridge that serves as the starting point of most highways in the country is now replaced with a well-developed 4-lane roundabout. It was inaugurated on 4th June.
The Department of Roads explored many structures from a simple bridge to a complex flyover before finalizing the structure. The department initially planned to construct a double-lane roundabout. However, the Director General of the department said the ministry received a royal command to review the design of the roundabout and consider the future traffic growth. Other aspects, such as the road gradient to enable easy movement of traffic from all directions, were also taken into account.
shuma daru kadimchibe jaki tanguru ani structure digidi ani tumni mese no digibe ani structure dato ki structure de ani be decide baby sejunil.
The construction began in July last year and was completed in April this year. The construction was carried out at a cost of more than 83 million Yultim and was funded by the Government of India. Giledim for BBS News.
Miss Universe Bhutan 2022 competition ended on 4th June, crowning its new champion in Thimphu. 23-year-old Tashi Chodon from Wandifodong was crowned the Miss Universe Bhutan 2022. Tashi Chodon, who is also a model, is the new title holder of Miss Universe Bhutan. She also won 3 other titles such as Best in Kira, Best in Evening Gown and Best Ramp Walk.
Yeah, winning this pageant really gave me a legitimate platform where I can advocate on social issues and then talk to young women and try to empower them, try to make them believe in themselves more, because I had a hard time believing in myself, and look where I am right now.
Tashi will now represent Bhutan at the Miss Universe pageant, which will be held later this year. Sonam Peldon from Wandifodang became the first runner-up, and Eden Zangmo from Tashigang took the place of the second runner-up. Adorned in their finest attire, 23 contestants from across the country participated in the Miss Universe Bhutan pageant this year. Samtin Dolkar, BBS News. Drukgyal FC are the champions of the first Coronation Championship. They defeated Paro FC on penalties in the finals played on 3rd June in a match that was nothing short of a thriller. With thousands of fans witnessing the match, it lived up to everyone's expectations and more.
Paro FC, the defending champions of the Bhutan Premier League, went into the game as the favourites to win the championship. They kept pressure on Drukgyal from the beginning, trying to break the wall. But it wasn't meant to be. Drukgyal's goalkeeper Sring Dandup, last year's best goalkeeper of the BPL, remarkably saved a few critical on-target shots, saving the team on several occasions. The intense match kept the fans on their toes the entire time. With solid defending, Drukgyal took the game to extra time. Even after a sensational 30 minutes of gameplay, the match eventually went to penalties. Although both teams had a 50-50 chance of winning, Drukgyal FC got a boost in confidence when the Paro FC goalkeeper made a dreadful mistake during the shootout. He blocked the penalty and went on to celebrate, only for the ball to bounce back into the goalpost. Paro FC missed a penalty after that, and the game ended 5-4 in favour of Drukgyal FC. Although the club was formed last year, it managed to win one of the most competitive championship cups.
And this is my major trophy with Drukgyal FC, and I want to thank my players for believing and trusting in my tactics, my coaching, and they are helping me grow. And the feeling is too good, and we all of us were looking for this feeling.
Drukgyal FC took home the winning trophy and a cash prize of 200,000 Yutam, while the runner-up received 100,000. Drukgyal FC's Tenzin Doji was named the most valuable player of the tournament. He will get to travel to Qatar to witness the 2022 FIFA World Cup. Meanwhile, Drukgyal FC have their eyes locked on the Bhutan Premier League, set to begin later in August this year. Sring Dandup, PBS News.
And that's all we have for this week. Thanks for watching. Goodbye and stay safe.